Hey. Right, hope you guys are all well. I'm just finally starting our Why She Said Yes live with the beautiful Emma today. So this is going to be all about Emma and her journey. We talked about my journey last week. We've spoke to Becky, Hannah and Paula. Hope to have some more lovely ladies on soon, but today is all about Gemma. If you haven't seen me live before, I'm Gemma. I said Gemma, Emma. It's all about Emma, but I'm Gemma. Yeah, I'm confused. Yeah, so that's what we're doing today. I'm just going to turn you around so you can see our Emma. Hey.
Hello.
Right, okay. So I'm doing this on a Zoom, so we can see Emma and me on here as well. But yeah. So Emma, first things first. What? How did you actually get introduced to the products?
Okay, this is a bit of a longer story. So the very first time that I tried the products, I was just wanting to lose a bit of weight. I wish I just had that little amount to lose now, but it's not the case. But I just moved back to Glasgow. I've been back about a year or so, and a friend had introduced me to the products, but it was through another person, an actual rep, and the rep was rubbish. So she didn't know anything about my health conditions. She didn't know really what my goal was apart from weight loss. So it was back when the smoothies came in the tubs.
Yeah.
That's just really long ago it was. And you know, I didn't like it. Like, I was putting it in a shaker and shaking it up, you know, with the little silver ball thing that's inside. So it wasn't really getting. I was using cow's milk. Like, it was awful, right? It was just an awful attempt. Because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was putting in maybe too much or too little. It was ridiculous, right? I just hated it. I didn't like the taste of it. But I would probably say the majority of that was due to using cow's milk. Like, using cow's milk for me is just a no-go.
Yeah. So
then I had another year, and I seen something on Facebook, and that's how I got introduced to Hannah. And we got connected, and she said, you know, she can introduce products. And I says, can I just ask what the company actually is? Because she hadn't said anything. She's like, oh, it's Juice Plus. And I was like, ah. And she just kind of looked at her, she's like, you sound like you've got a story. And I was like, yes, I do. So I told her all about it. She went, no, she says, that's what we tried to avoid. Obviously, it was just like a sales-driven rep. You know, we wasn't interested in customer, and that's not what we stand for. So Hannah went over everything. She knew about the migraines and the chronic pain and, you know, all that kind of thing. And the fact that I'm actually a bit fussier than I thought I was as far as food stuff goes. So she introduced me to the capsules as well, not just the smoothies. And the capsules I knew nothing about. I just thought it was, you know, the smoothies and that was the end of it,
yeah.
Which wasn't the case. So she had elaborated on, you know, how good they are for you, you know, what kind of benefits can come, although no claims can be made. It's just from other people's experiences. So I thought, well, I've nothing to lose. My health was in a horrendous condition. I've always been the little girl who's not been well and sent home from school, or the girlfriend that can't go to an event because she's too unwell. You know, it's just been a long-term sort of thing. So I thought anything is better than nothing. It's got to be, and like fruits and veg aren't going out of fashion anytime soon. They always tell you, you know, you need them in your diet whether you want them or not. And if you don't have them, you then suffer the consequences of not having them. And it can be anything from not being able to go to the toilet properly to, you know, really severe deficiencies and things. So I thought, why not? Try it, see what happens. And that was the kind of beginning of my journey. I started on the smoothies and premium capsules, which is all 3 berries, fruits and veg. And in the beginning they were great, loved it. But as money got a little tighter with being at work and being off work sometimes, it was a case of I can't do the products, or I was just taking them, you know, sporadically rather than consistently every single day. The benefits started to drip through but not be consistent because I wasn't being consistent, which is now changed, which is
it's good.
So yeah, that's where it began. So going from hating the products to actually finding out how to use the things in the first place. Because if you don't take enough water with your capsules, like, they can be a bit, stodgy going on the way down. But as soon as you get that flushed down, you're good to go. People even put them in like yogurts and smoothies and stuff, but nah.
Yeah.
Down the hatch, away we go.
I think, to be honest, it kind of helps me make sure I have enough water in the day, because
Exactly. So
I forget.
Them all in my mouth and take a drink. But actually now I take 2 at a time to make sure that I'm drinking at least about 500 mils of water to get down, and that kind of starts me off. Because sometimes, although I'm a migraine sufferer, and I'm pretty good with my water intake, sometimes, the day kind of gets away from you and you're too busy to take a drink. And I know that sounds ludicrous, but actually, when you start to slow down, when you don't drink enough, and then by that point in time, I'm too unwell to do anything about it.
Yeah, I totally know where you're getting from. I mean, I've suffered with migraines for years and years, and I touch wood, since I've been on these, I actually don't get migraines anymore. But I think part of that was because mine was also dehydration. So dehydration would actually trigger a migraine in me as well, and stress would trigger. Whereas obviously I don't have as much stress. I have some, obviously, I'm normal. We all have stress. So I still have stress, but it's not as, do you know what I mean? I don't let it take me over as much as I used to. And this is what I think key for me, is letting things take over me. But yeah, making sure I have that water is just really, really so important. And with the capsules, like you said, if you have enough water with them, you take it. I mean, I have a big bottle and I will down the whole bottle, but I take them before bed. So yeah. Do you know what I mean? I take them before bed, and then I have to get up really early, just go to the toilet. But you know what I mean? It's one of them things. As long as you know you've done it, and then you can kind of spread the rest out throughout the whole day. Yeah. So I think it is really important. I think everyone forgets as well how important water is, alongside making sure you have an amazing nutrition. It does, doesn't it? But you don't realise though, do you? Until you've got that headache, and even when you do.
Dehydration was never an issue for me as far as the migraines go. Like, mine's are very, very severe to the point of paralysis and stuff down one side. So it's more stress and anxiety related until I can get a bigger grip on that. Which, I'm working on, but until that's more controlled, like, they're not going to change. It's nothing to do with my diet. The only dietary issue that I have is either if I'm dehydrated, which is very rarely, or cheese. Yeah. Cheese is my only food trigger, really. So for me, like, it was never really about my diet. As far as the migraine goes, like, for over 20 years, I've been trying to work out what it is, and it's always come back. Stress and anxiety. And I was like, well, things just get worse as you get older, so I'm really looking forward to that. So, yeah.
I just feel with myself that I'm actually quite lucky in the fact that it wasn't as severe as yours. I did have like migraines, and I had a few blackout migraines a few times, but not as much as you have at all. And I know I've been there when you started one, and I've seen the pain in your eyes.
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? It's awful.
It gets ridiculous, and that's why I had to get a childcare, because it was getting dangerous, and I would hate to be the person who was, responsible for letting somebody else's child just...
Totally.
Yeah. When they're used to having me as a big, emotional support in the room, and I'm the one that's maybe caused the emotional upheaval, and it did happen, and I had to explain to parents, what had happened. They were absolutely fine with it. Luckily, I've got a really good rapport with parents that I work with, but
it's just gutting though, isn't it?
Feel in a way that you were unwell enough that you could have caused, some sort of chaotic situation, but luckily that didn't happen.
It's good. Well, maybe one day you might be able to go back to it if you feel.
Yeah. Once I've got a bigger hold on it and the pain and stuff, like, hopefully that'll be. That was one reason why I looked at the business opportunity. Hannah had said to me, you know, when I was ordering my products, look, there's an opportunity with the products if you want to have a go. And I was like, don't know. And then I've watched some videos and I thought, actually, that's, you know, the company with a heart. And that's one of the big things about me is that I do have a big heart. So I thought, actually, that makes sense. And it kept coming up and she kept asking me and I thought, do you know what? I'm getting products anyway. If I lose out, you know, I'm not really losing anything.
It's just a discount.
Yeah, so it was round about just after my 30th birthday, so I thought, 30, you know, try something different. The one big thing was I get to pick who I work with, and at that particular moment in time, because I had worked with people that I really, really didn't want to work with, that was a big factor for me. And also because it could work around me not feeling so good. So it's not like a job where you go in for, you know, 8 to 12 hours a day constantly. Like, you can spread it out. If you're not feeling great in the morning, then you pick it up in an evening, and you know, you can make it work around your lifestyle. And if your lifestyle is the fact that you're not keeping so good, you're using the products to get better, then you can see that longevity and that journey over time.
Yeah.
Which made sense to me at the time.
Yeah. I think that's kind of the same reason why I went into it, because at the end of the day, when I started, I kind of started the product straight away, and then I kind of went straight into the business, because actually these products did something I didn't think they were going to do. They helped me lose weight. They started to give me energy and make me feel amazing. And that was something I never thought could happen at all. I didn't think anything would ever make me feel like I was healthy. And that's the key. And when I had my children, everyone was saying, why don't you breastfeed? Why don't you this? Why don't you that? And I was like, I'm not healthy enough to do it. I would love to have given my kids that start in life and to be able to breastfeed. And I felt, actually, if I'm always ill, if my immune system is that low that actually I'm ill constantly, then I can't be giving my kids the nutrition that they need from breast milk. And that's a really sad thing to have to say and to admit. But
I can relate to that, and I'll tell you why. A lot of people go, oh, Emma, you're in your 30s, you've got any kids, or, you know, you're not married, you're not this. FYI, I've always said no. Mr. Right now is not Mr. Right, okay? But apart from that, I've always put off having kids because my health is so poor at times.
Yeah.
I've been a main carer from a young age. Like, I was made a main carer at the age of 11. So I know what it's like to have to care for someone else, and I wouldn't want that. Not because, you know, I regret doing that, because I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yeah.
But I know how difficult it can be at times. And for me, having worked in childcare and seen, you know, done the opposite side of it, I like children to be children for as long as they can be. And if you're constantly seeing your parents unwell, or, you know, it's not a nice thing to see.
No.
And that's based on personal experience, not just opinion. Like, that's how I've seen it. So for me, that was why, you know, I needed to get better to, you know, have the life that, you know, Western society tells you should have, because it just wouldn't fit. You know, if I'm out the game for 3-4 days with a severe migraine, can't move, throwing up, I can't look after a young baby. Like, it would be silly to think that you could do it, and I know a lot of people do it, and, you know, hats off to them, but I just couldn't do it. I think the guilt would kill me,
yeah.
to be honest, before anything else. But what the products do help with, even though I still suffer, is what they don't tell you is, like, whilst you're suffering, that's one load of issues and pain and, you know, side effects. But what you also have is then recovering from that. So the recovery time of feeling really tired, lethargic, you know, you're still a bit nauseated, you know, you're trying to start feeling your face again, all that kind of thing. Like, that's a lot short-lived than what it used to be. Like, I would literally go from a cycle of migraine and chronic pain, all the symptoms that go with that, and then have to recover and then start all over again. that night isn't as big an issue. I get to have, you know, a shorter lived recovery time.
Yeah.
Which makes a difference, because when you're in constant pain, or, you know, you're doing things, you know, you're constantly throwing up and things like that. Like, that's ridiculous. Like, no one should have to live like that. And then you have to recover, and that recovery time then just takes you into the next one. You know, you're always waiting for the next one.
Totally.
So you don't want it. I mean, that's not a life. That's just torture. So for me, the products not only help with like my skin and my hair and my nails. Actually, I had to cut them all down last night because of, you know, the mess that the plumber left. So my fingers were covered in purple loo and things. So apart from that, you know, I do have a slightly enhanced immune system now that I didn't have before. Like, I've worked with children, and when you work with children, as you very well know, you get everything. I mean, they get things that you don't even get in like primary school or high school. You know, you get slap cheek and scarlet fevers on the rise again, and, you know, all these kind of things, and you're constantly exposed to it. So if your immune system is a little bit dodgy, you are going to suffer big time. And I went from having shingles one week to being in hospital for a week with viral meningitis. So although it wasn't bacterial and it wasn't, you know, life or death situation, like at the time, that's exactly what it felt like. Had the rash, you know, all the other symptoms, but they find it very difficult to differentiate between what's just a severe migraine and what could be something else. So I'm always at risk, you know, because the migraine and the chronic pain could be hiding something, you know, very detrimental to my health. So I need to try and keep as healthy as I can, other than those things, to make sure that I don't get really sick. But this year, because I've been back on all the products, including the omegas, and even the bars, the only thing I haven't tried is the soups. But it means then I've got a whole host of things there that then prevent me from suffering all the time. Which is the biggest part for me, because you get to have a bit of a life back.
Yeah, totally.
That cycle of, you know, illness recovery is dementing. Like, I'll be honest, like, it's totally, there's days you go, I can't do this anymore. There has to be something better than this, and that's what the products were for me. It was, you know, the difference between suffering every single day and actually getting part of a life back.
That is amazing in itself, to be honest. I mean, you even went to Edinburgh the other week, and the noise in there must have been crazy loud.
Well, apart from the drama that I had actually on the way down, I lost my bag.
Oh no, yeah, you said.
My handbag, it was ridiculous. So my stress levels were through the roof. For the whole conference, and by the end of it, I was outside, thrown up like that. There was just too much stress on me that day.
Bless you.
But by the next day, you know, I'd had my rest, I'd had my capsules, I'd had a decent breakfast to start the day. Actually, it was a bit naughty, but, you know, hotel's wrong.
When you're in.
So it meant then I was geared for the rest of the conference, and then I could get home. And although I was tired, like everybody was tired, it was a fast-track weekend. There was a lot going on, a lot of information to take in. But it means then I get a chance to do that sometimes, not all the time, but I get a chance to do things that I otherwise couldn't have done before.
Exactly. I mean, I know there has been over the years, there has been I normally go to all the conventions. I did miss this one, but I think I've been to one with you before over the past 3 or 4 years, and you've not been well enough to go to the others, have you? Which is
no, it's usually
gutting.
I'm not well enough to either go, or there's maybe sometimes when I'm there I'm quite ill, so it gets a bit frightening when you're ill away from home. Like, even though you're in your own home and you're ill, like, you still, you know your roots, and you know you don't have to be up by a certain time and out by a certain time. You can just be. But when you're away, you know, there's expectations that you're going to be out for dinner, you know, you're going to be doing this, you know, the conference starts at this time, ends at that time, so there's an expectation there for you to be well, and obviously being in a health company, that's part of the thing, you know, is to be healthy. and actually I'm one of the most unhealthy people that's there.
Mm.
And it's because I have been on, copious amounts of medication and, having lost a lot of muscle mass and things, and I'm having to redo all that again. But then you'll see just what the products can do, even when you are struggling. Like, you can do that little bit more.
Yeah.
And they do help you a lot in that recovery. And even the smoothies, that's what they were designed for. Initially was people who were, trying to recover muscle-wise, for athletes and things like that, so they can keep the protein take up for the muscles to recover. So that's, I don't just use them for breakfast. I use them if I can get to do any exercise and things, because it just helps that little bit more than what I would have if I just came home and stuffed my face with a McDonald's because I thought
totally. But I think this is it though, isn't it? It's making sure that you're consistent with it, because if you're not consistent with it, I mean, I have had a month where I've not really taken them properly, or more 2 months, should I say, and after the first 3 weeks you actually realise I haven't had my, do you know what I mean? You start to feel like you haven't got them, because your energy starts to dip again. And you will still have it in your body for so long. The thing is, this is it's nutrition. It's something your body actually uses. So it's not something you cannot take consistently. And I think that's what people don't realise. They think it's a quick fix. And we're not in the business of quick fixes.
Antibiotic theory.
Yeah.
Where, back in the day, they would share a host of antibiotics with all the family. And whilst that's really generous, it's doing none of you any good, because you're not taking the correct amount and you're not finishing the course. It's kind of the same thing. If you don't take something consistently every single day, then what good is it going to do you? It's like eating broccoli one day and then eating chocolate the next. Like, you're not giving your body the chance to recover. You're not giving your body the chance to get the best that it can feel. And I think for a long time, that's what I felt was, I didn't know how I was supposed to really feel. People don't realise how good they're supposed to feel. They just kind of get used to it.
Yeah.
At times, it's been a busy week. It's Christmas. There's all sorts of things. And, at certain times of the year, especially this time of the year, people overeat immensely because they think they can.
Yeah,
and actually,
totally.
It's something that we tell ourselves, and then in January go, oh, I didn't realise I'd enjoyed myself that much.
Yeah, I've now got a constant hangover for a week, plus I've put on 12 pounds.
Yeah.
And then I think it's that whole cycle, isn't it? Then you've got to redo it all again. You've got to reset your body. And it just takes so long to sort. I mean, I'm quite lucky in the I am quite consistent with my capsules most of the time, which actually means over Christmas, I'm not in that state that I used to be in afterwards. So I used to feel really, I mean, you'd need another holiday, don't you, to get away from the Christmas break. You'd need a whole new holiday just to sort yourselves out.
I'm pretty fortunate in the sense, I don't drink an awful lot, so I don't have that side of it. Eating, on the other hand,
yeah.
I always kind of justify it to myself, go, oh, I've had a bad day, I can have a treat, and you start to feel really sorry for yourself when you're constantly unwell and you think, I'll just have that, and you think it's making you feel better, but actually it's making things a lot worse in the long run. So it's trying to get into that mindset that actually, whilst you can have things and not deprive yourself of stuff, there has to be that balance. And that's what I find it was difficult initially, because I thought, I'll just, sling that in the microwave, that'll do. Or, I didn't have time to eat today, so, I'll just have a takeaway, it's fine. But actually, it's not fine. But,
no.
Whilst, as I say, the biggest thing is whilst suffering, you have that little ray of sunshine at the end. There is light at the end of the tunnel for me now. That there is some days where I don't feel as bad, and that for me makes a difference, because when you're going from one day being really ill and it's still 3 days, 4 days down the line, it's not any better, you're kind of starting to wonder what's the point. Like, if I'm honest, like, you're like, why am I here to suffer? And it's because you don't realise how good you're actually designed to feel.
Yeah.
And even, you know, like, as I say, fruits and veg aren't going to have style anytime soon. It's always put in the papers and the media how important it is, but the fruits and veg that we have now are nowhere near as good as what they were, you know, 10 years ago, 20 years ago, you know, 40, 50 years ago. They're not of the same quality.
No, not at all.
So even if you are getting your 5 a day, you're actually not getting enough. And that's where, you know, even if you're the healthiest person, you can still benefit from the products.
It's because things need to be... So I was just going to say, things need to be mass-produced nowadays because there are so many of us. It's mass-produced. It's used pesticides. I know people, a lot of places are trying really hard to stay away from pesticides, which is amazing. But even organics do need to be mass-produced and to a standard that, like you said, is not as good as it was.
Yeah.
But they do have their guidelines, don't they? But that's the way it is. When we're overpopulating the world, we have to mass produce things to make sure we're all fed.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
But yeah. Okay, so I think you've gone through most of my questions without me really asking. So why do you want to share this with other people?
I would say, from my point of view, being that person who's always unwell, whether it's cold or sick with bug or, you know, whatever it is,
yeah,
it makes a change to even the harshest and the best. Like, whatever scale you're on, if you're from the sickest person to the healthiest person, it will still impact your life positively. There is nothing to lose unless you're, you know, allergic to a certain food substance, you know, such as a fruit or a vegetable. If you're allergic to something, it might impact you a bit negatively. That would be something that you would discuss with the person who introduced you to the products in the first place. If they are a rep worth their salt, they will go through everything with you the way they're supposed to, so that wouldn't be missed. The way it was the first time I tried the products, and that's why initially I couldn't stand them. I thought, oh no, I'm not doing that. Like, I would never do it again. And then having spoken to Hannah, it changed things. I knew more. I was informed. I knew what I was then putting into my body. Because I am a bit fussier now with what I put into my body, because my body is so sensitive to change.
Yeah.
Whether it's a good or a bad change, because most people, there's so much information out there and they try and do everything all at once, and that's why they fail so quickly. And there's nothing wrong with, you know, failing as long as you get back up and do it again, but you kind of feel a bit defeated when that happens, and I've done it myself. I'm guilty of it 100%. You know, putting things out there, you know, you try and get your water intake right, you try and eat fruits and veg, you cut out all the crap, and 2 days later you're demented. And, you know, you get sugar withdrawals and, you know, all that kind of thing, and you just don't realise how bad things are for you until you try and detox off them, and you know, you have to go through the headaches and, you know, feeling really quite lethargic and rubbish because you're not using caffeine or chocolate or, you know, whatever sugar to get you to that, you know, next part of the work, you know. Going from your afternoon slump and having your Red Bull, and, you know, you're all over the place. And people do it every day, just not realising that actually you're kind of doing it wrong. And I hate saying that because, you know, it's not for me to preach to other people what they should and shouldn't be doing, but actually, if you took the time to look into it, you would see how much better you could feel.
Yeah.
And I've said that to people loads of times because I can relate to their story. You know, they've tried this, they've tried that, and it is really difficult, whether you're trying to better your health, whether you're trying to cut down on what you eat, or, you know, the types of things that you're eating, all that sort of thing. It's all important and it's all relevant, but you can't do it all at once because you will just yourself to just drop. And I've done it a million times or more since I was very young. And, you know, keeping food diaries and all that kind of drama. as you'll know yourself, you know,
Yeah.
something that might get you to go through everything that you eat and drink in a day, from supplements and water to, you know, your last midnight feast, you know, everything's there.
Totally, yeah.
And then you see, actually, well, why did I eat that? Why did I eat that? It's ridiculous. But it's human nature. Like, a lot of people comfort eat, a lot of people overeat. You know, when you get people round and, you know, they maybe have too many glasses of wine. You know, there's lots of things. And it's not to say that you can't do these things now and again, or maybe once a fortnight or whatever. But, you know, it gets to become a habit, and it's not a good habit to get into.
Yeah.
I've been there, you know, and you try and go, oh, actually, I've kind of had, you know, too many nights on the sofa, I've done this, but as I say, like human nature, you rationalise it in some way, shape or form, and go, well, actually, I deserve that, I wasn't very well.
Well,
Or,
yeah, you kind of say
it is.
one day, isn't it? One day's okay, and then the next day you're like, oh, it's another day. One day's okay. Next day, one day's okay, and after a week, you're like, actually, 7 days. That really was not okay.
I'll start Monday.
Yeah, totally. But okay, so the last question I would like to ask you, what would you say to a person that's just sat on the wall, that's thinking about trying the products, but they're not there yet? What would you say to them?
I would say do it. 100%, just do it. What's the worst, you know, that's going to happen? You know, you spend money left, right, centre on stuff that, you know, fair weather stuff, you know, it's here, there, it's gone.
Yeah.
Whether it's a night out or whatever, and that's not me telling you what to do with your life, that's just my opinion. I know what it's like to feel really, really rubbish. So that little bit of life back makes a difference. If you have kids, you know, it's open, you know, you get it free for kiddies. You know, if you get the fruit and the veg or the premium capsules, so you're doing everything for everyone then, you know, it's a holistic approach to family health.
Yeah.
Like I say, there's nothing nasty in there. It's probably the cleanest products and things that you'll ever put into your body at this present moment in time. But how bad things are, as you say, they've been mass produced and all that sort of thing. The risk factor, as I say, is literally slim to none. You know, you're only ever going to feel better. I know some people end up with a bit of a upset stomach because like that you're trying to make a change, but it is quite a big change in the beginning.
Yeah.
Your body's not used to, say, 30 fruits and veg a day. And by that I mean variety, not necessarily portions, because that would just have other effects. You know?
Totally.
So for me that was a big thing anyway, because there's a lot of fruits that I don't like, and because I'm such you know, super taster and have heightened sense of smell and everything, things taste totally different to me than it would to someone else. So like bananas, like I can't touch those things. I can't, no. Mm-mm. When I used to have to cut them up in nursery and stuff, it was, you know, with gloves, obviously gloves were on anyway, but you know, you're kind of doing it at a distance, because the smell just used to make me ill.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind actually putting it in my mouth. So for me, although, you know, the potassium rates are great and all that kind of thing, like I just couldn't eat them. So now I'm able to get fruits and veg that, one, I couldn't afford. I couldn't afford to eat 30 varieties of fruit and veg every day. No way.
No.
So I think if anybody of a decent household income would tell you, you can't get that into your diet every day, either financially, physically, or just the thought of actually doing it, like you would eat nothing else. So for me, the benefit is you get all of that in a capsule. Like you don't even have to, the only thing you have to drink with it now is water. You don't have to put it into water and drink it the way it was initially made to be done. And you know, away you go. It's as convenient as it possibly can be. You know, you're not standing trying to cook fruits and veg and cut them up and all that kind of drama, because again, that would put me off. I wouldn't do it.
No.
Let's say, I've said a couple of times, like fruit and veg isn't going anywhere. It has its place as far as health goes, and that's why we've already done it in the first place. things that they felt the need to put something on the market, and there was a niche for it.
Sorry. I need my water. Oh, right. Okay. Thank you, Emma, so much. It has been really enlightening, and it's really good to hear your whole story, because I've heard bits of it over the years.
Bits of it, yeah.
And I've never heard it all. So it's just an amazing, amazing story. Right, guys, we are going to be... I'm going to turn you around. So we're going to be back... if I stop coughing, I do need some water. We're going to be back next week with another lady. I am not sure how I am going to do this. It might be the same as what we've just done with Emma. Back with someone else next week, and I will let you know who that is when it comes to it. Have an amazing day. Don't forget, please ask us questions. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments and me and Emma will answer them for you. And yeah, if you'd like to speak about the products, just give us a shout, either on my network or through Emma's network. We are both happy to share with you. Yeah, I think that's about it. So have an amazing weekend, Emma, and thank you so much for joining us today. Bye. Bye.